Hello everyone, welcome to Green Dragons Gaming. Without us, they couldn't feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. So again, we're based out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. If you're in the area, do me a favor, reach out to me, let me know. I'm always on UB as well, Saurian 2015. And, pardon me, let's see. Just went through Battle Cry, so and I do want to give a quick shout out because I did an East Coast Warriors. I have those videos put up. It's just I just did this. This is fresh in my mind, and I have everything prepped for Battle Cry. East Coast Warriors. I did have 2 losses and a win over there, and I will put those up as soon as I can remember, hopefully before I forget what actually happened in the games. But I do apologize about that. But this is from Battle Cry. Before we get to Battle Cry, again, this is going to be a shout out for North American Masters. It's going to be held Pro Bowl weekend, which is the last weekend of January. It's going to be held out in Cleveland, and I'll talk more about that at the end of this. Because someone once wrote in saying, you know, rather get to the battle report first. So without further ado, here is Battle Cry 2019. This is held up here in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. And this was a event that was ran by Eggs PR, who is USA ETC and all the other good jazz. And this is going to be Sylvanel, so Snarkhunter, up on the forums, versus The Kingdom, SirMC 2015. So Shannon is one of the best players in the United States. By far, he is absolutely one of the best players. And here's his list. He usually goes with ogres, ogre cons. This time he has a beautiful painted army, and I don't think my pictures do his army justice. But he has a beautifully painted army with his whole backdrop and everything else. And with him, I didn't even realize that he gave me his list, and I'm like, okay, went through everything. I didn't even realize that he had his Dryad Ancient as his general at Leadership 9, because I just assumed it was going to be one of the prince. So he has the Prince and the Great Elk, that is 4-up, 4-up, which is really designed just to be brutal in combat. You got the other chieftain on the Great Elk as well, so that's pretty nice there. And then you got the Druid Master. So you got the 2 mages, and he's got the Binding Scroll in there. He's got tons of shooting, especially with the 2 units of 9 Sentinels, 2 units of 15 Sylvan Archers, the Wild, and then the 2 units of Huntsmen can really put a hurting on things. Here's my list, same as it was on last battle report. Please feel free, pause it, look it over. Any questions, do me a favor, let me know. All right. So this time I did remember to take a picture of deployment before Vanguard. Actually, this may have just been after Vanguards. And he does have a unit, as I said, beautifully painted Elven army, hiding behind the woods. Here's a nice frontal picture of his army. I liked how it's themed. I loved all his bases and everything else. And that's how his lines look. So we go ahead, we do roll off. He goes ahead and gets first turn. He plucks 1 guy off via shooting. Then he plucks about 2 more guys. All in all, he actually does quite a bit via shooting. So my first turn, because he maneuvered his Huntsman up on the left, his Dryad's there in the middle, and you see the pince formation. This is actually second turn. I missed. Well, let me go back a few picks here. All right, so that unit that's behind the hill puts itself right next to the castle, facing down, staying about just over 19 inches away from my, or just over 20 inches away from my cavalry, because he does not want to attempt getting charged by that big brick of Knights of the Realm. And he puts his other wild huntsmen on the other side of the hill that you'll see in just a moment, so that they can't be charged by either the fast cavalry, or the fast cavalry would have been in the front, which would be a suicide charge for them. and in a position that the aspirants can't see them. And if the Duke wanted to go try for a long bomb charge, he is more than welcome to try. And that would be that. So again, going back to where we were. So my crossbows during my turn did manage to pluck off one of his fast cavalry, and this is now his turn. So on my turn, and you can see I am now down to 6 out of 12 Knights of the Realm. That unit took a beating. That's all I can say. Is that is brutal, brutal amount of shooting going all into the one unit. He's going at that unit rather than my Lord. So I'm actually okay with that. Let's see. But he's got the Dryads there. Is 2 Elk Lords on the flanks, just basically tempting, having me tempt fate as it may be. So it's like, what am I to do at this point? Charge. So I charged both the Green Knight and the Grails going into his unit of Dryads there. And I know I wanted one unit to go into the Eagle because, again, when it comes to the chaff game, KoE is so chaff dependent. And I like, I mean, my crossbowmen, this entire tournament actually, really pulled their weight and held their own for the most part. And we're playing hold the center here, hence the token there in the middle of the board. Oh no, we're playing secure target is what we're playing. And because there's another token on the other side of the hill there. And this was Dawn Assault, secure target. I threw them both in there. I didn't want, I know if I put my Lord in there, that just would have been bad news for me because then my Lord would just get picked on. Nothing to do about it. It would not have been a good picture. The Green Knight could hold his own, but that's a lot of AP3, maybe some AP4 coming my way. I just don't think it would be a viable option. And yeah, so that's basically it. And I have the chaff. So my turn after movement. So as I said, declare those charges. Now this was a mistake, and I didn't have to do it like this. I screwed up. Is I had it so that his Elk Lord could hit my chaff and then overrun into the unit. So that was that. And even his Wild Huntsman could overrun and go into them as well. So on the right, I move up my 6 Knights, and this is after magic for the shooting phase. I use my breath weapon on the elves, and he only manages to save 2 of them. I rolled high, but still, and he had I think I did like 9 wounds to him. He's got a 4-up armor and a 6-up ward. 2 were left standing. Actually, that's about right in terms of dice. But at that point, that unit is well below manageable at this point. So he goes and I blow up the Dryads with ease, especially with the Ground Knights. I think I have Breath of a Lady. Yeah, I can see the card. Breath of the Lady is up on them, and Oaken Throne is up. And I overrun. The Ground Knights go into the Eagle, and the Green Knight goes past the Eagle, like this. Okay, so what he does, so this is now his turn, is he charges the Elk. He fails his Frenzy test with on the left-hand side, and they have to charge. He chooses to charge into the Knights of the Realm regardless. And